Hi, welcome to Real Talk with TAS and OnJerya. We're back. We've been away, but we're back. And OnJerya's in rare form, let me tell you. Now she's going to come on and she's going to tone it down, I hope, but she's already in rare form. So I cannot wait to see what she has to share with us tonight because she is feeling some kind of way. She's feeling some kind of way. So she should be popping in. I just waved at her, so she should be popping in any second now. As I take a breath, just still myself. Because I never know what I'm going to get when OnJerya joins me. But it's always fun. Always fun. Hello, hello. Does that mean that you can't get in? Can you not join me? Can you not join me, OnJerya? I don't know why she's trying to message me. She always be testing me. Of course not, you can't. Well, bless your sweet soul. Let me see if I can bring you in. You just so sweet. I don't mind. Let's see if I can get you in. Hopefully it will pop up. When you're trying to come through. Come through, Jesus. Come through. Come
Let me
through.
tell you something. I understand that we are currently in Mercury retrograde, and it is definitely grading. As I digress. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. How you doing, boo? You
Girl,
good?
yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
Girl. I'm trying to what they do on Family Matters, they was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the heck is bothering?
Oh,
Or whatever.
oh, my Lord. My Lord.
Trying to breathe in, breathe out.
Okay.
Like what they I didn't go to Lamar's class, so I don't know. But when they try to teach you how to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Breathe in.
Breathe in, breathe out. Oh God,
So
yes,
you can breathe out, I guess, when the pains are hitting you. Yeah,
yes.
I guess that would make sense. You don't want to breathe in with the pain, so breathe out, I guess, with the pain. Well, breathe out with the pain, OnJerya. OnJerya, before we get started, we've been away, but I want to
Yeah.
set the record straight. In May,
Mm.
OnJerya decided that she was going to fly to Greece without me. And I must say, she didn't have the time of her life because I wasn't there. But she flew to Greece. She came back and then she was sick. And she chuckles with it. So therefore, we didn't do our show. And then, she's real big on life be life.
It
Then life
does.
started lifing, and I just could not get her to settle down. And then it was time for my niece to go back to school. And she's like, well, I can't do it now. And so over these months, she's been having these conversations with me, and she'd be like, oh, we should be talking about this online. I'm like, I know, but you don't have time. No, I don't have time right now. And then we go on and we talking about something else. And she's like, oh, we should be talking about this live. I'm like, I know, but you won't join me. I don't have time right now. And so then what started happening was I started talking about stuff because we still having a conversation. I'm like, we should be talking about this online. And then she'd be like, well,
Yes.
I know. I'm like, but you won't join me. So I told her, I had to just take it upon myself to tell her that no, we are going live and this is when we're going to do it. But I did give her notice now. I did give her about a month's notice that, we're going to start. I probably gave her
Okay.
2 months notice. And then I told her we were going to start one weekend. And then I decided we're going to start before then. So here we are. And so, OnJerya, did I bring everybody back to where we are and how we got to where we are right now?
No, because see, you try to put the blame on me. Let's tell the story now. If we gonna tell it, Tell
What
it
story
why.
am I not telling? That was where it
I
went
mean,
down.
no, no, it won't, because you act like it was all on me. Honey, you were booked and busy too, so don't even go there.
Yeah, I was booked and busy,
Right,
but
right. So when we tell the story how we got over, just make sure you include your role in this as well. Okay. Okay.
so I had a role in this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because every time I turn around, what? How did Alexis phrase it? I can't find what you're talking about, Mama. I can't find what you're talking about on Auntie's social media page. She got so many posts on there. She posting every few minutes. I said because she booked and busy, but yet want to be talking about me. I mean, you know,
Well, you
tell
know,
me why.
I had to fill the time some way, but I always had Tuesday nights reserved
Okay,
for Real Talk with Taz and OnJerya.
I hear you. I hear you, Taz. But I'm just saying, like, don't put the blame on me. And speaking of Greece, yes, I did. I left without her, and trust and believe.
You'll do
I still
that
enjoy,
again.
honey, I enjoy myself. Okay.
Okay.
Like, let me tell you, Greece was one of those places that, yes, I will definitely go back again. I can't remember all the different places that we went to, but I would definitely go back again. It, it was a reminder why I only travel with certain people, though. Like that, sometimes you, sometimes you need that little reminder because you
Mhm.
tend to forget, like, oh yeah. So this is why I don't do this with you, or why I don't. Yeah, okay. So that's what Greece was to me. It was definitely a reminder as to why I don't do certain things with certain people, or if I do things with them, it's like this is why you that person, right? Like you the concert person, you the let's go have lunch and dinner person. Let's not travel the world. Maybe we can go to the beach. Maybe we can go to the beach. But, again, it's different. It was fun. We'll go back again. Obviously, I got to take Teresa with
Mhm.
me. You didn't miss much, sis. Trust and believe, you didn't miss much. Like, there's so much more um, to see than, what I was able to see. So you didn't miss much. Mm-mm. So don't feel bad.
Well, I knew that the trip was not going to be enjoyable without
You know
me.
what? Don't even do that. Don't even do
Wait a minute
that.
now. Not saying that you didn't have some enjoyable moments, but
I
I
did.
know. That's what I said. I didn't say you didn't have some enjoyable moments, but the trip was really not going to be enjoyable without me. Because let's clear it up now. If you want to start clearing up stuff, you were supposed to go to Greece with me. Then COVID happened.
It did. It did. It
So,
absolutely did.
so the fact that you chose to go to Greece, knowing that we had a trip planned, what they say, you get what you get and don't pitch a fit. Because you see, you were wrong with that.
But you
You were wrong with
see,
that.
I want the one pitching the fit though.
I know, but you had to observe it. You had to observe it. You may not have pitched the fit, but you surely had the chance to sit there as they put their tent up.
I'm always on my best behavior. Even
Okay.
during Scorpio season that just ended, I was on my best behavior.
If you say so, I believe it. If you say so, I believe it.
Yeah, because I wasn't bothered. Because it don't take much for me to have a good time because I don't mind being alone. Some people have an issue with that. They're like, I can't be by myself, baby. I enjoy being by myself. Promise you. Like I love me and being with me. Okay. Like I can be, out and about, enjoying myself. I don't have to be with a group of people to feel like I'm having fun. And so, despite that person's experience, I still had a ball. Hmm.
Well, and you did have a ball, and I experienced a little bit of it vicariously through her. But I just had a thought. got to figure out how to say this and clean it up.
Mm. Just say it, don't
I know.
clean it.
Well, I got to figure out how to say what passed through my brain. You know how stuff passed through so quickly. You know, there are some people that it appears that calamity follows them
I agree.
wherever they go. And I was just thinking about the trip and your trip, not my trip, your trip, and just how things, evolve. And it appears that, like I said, some people, it seems that everything that they do, there's an issue. And I guess my question is that the universe? Is it karma? Is it unsettled something? Is it their quirkiness? Is it their inflexibility? What is it? Because I know the person that you travel with, of course, and we can't really say who that is, but I know it seems like every time they do something, there's drama, there's an issue, just about. I may be over exaggerating, like I tell you, don't exaggerate. But
Wow.
okay, so I'm not over exaggerating, guys, because I knew I wasn't. But it seems like there's always something. And I wonder why. Because what should have been, and it was a good trip, guys, don't get me wrong. They had an excellent time. She would have had a better time with me. But they had a good time, but there's still things that happen that made the trip not so enjoyable. And it just seemed like there's no rhyme or reason. And you can say, well, that's an isolated event. Well, it isn't. And that's the reason
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, because it just kind of popped in my brain, because every time they do something, not every, well, nine out of
Not
10 times,
that again. Mm-hmm.
if they do something, there's something that's going to be amiss, even in the simplest things. And then I wonder, is it a time of, are they, mm, are they discontented? And their discontentment then flows out through them. It's just like, I was seeing something, but I've seen it before, and I know this, you know, let me clean that up too. You know, um, we have to be careful what we speak
Absolutely.
because our words have power. So, like when we hear songs and things like that, we have to be careful the songs that we sing because when we're singing them, we are manifesting what we're saying. If you think about it, so we have to be careful. And so I wonder if there's slight negativity. They do have a slight negativity. And because I hadn't thought about it before until you were talking about the trip, I wonder if that slight negativity is unintentionally manifesting some of this drama because they got drama. You can't go nowhere with them without having drama, and I don't understand that. And I'm an outsider, so when you mention them, it's very rare that you mention them and it's not some stuff. So am I on the right track, or am I just going down the rabbit hole?
No, you're not going down the rabbit hole. You're absolutely on the right track. We definitely have to be very mindful of what we put out into the universe, what we put out to the atmosphere, um, however you want to phrase it, because words are powerful. And that's why, I don't like to hear people say, like, oh, I'm having a bad day.
Mm. Yep.
What do you like? What's so bad about your day? Like, let's talk about it for real. What's so bad about your day?
Mhm.
Did you wake up this morning? Yes. Were you in your right mind?
Yes.
Yes. Is everything moving? Your bodies, your toes, your mouth, your eyes, your ears, your nose? Yes. Are you still, do you still have the ability to get up and move about and go to your
Mhm.
destinations and, you know, do business as usual? Yes. So then why are you having a bad day? Well, I'm having a bad day because something didn't go my way. Honey, it is okay. Let me tell you something. There's somebody right now that didn't wake up.
Yeah.
There's somebody that did wake up and still don't have the ability to do anything. Why? Because they laid down one way and woke up another way, because things happen so quickly. So for that person and other people that we know, yes, it's I want to play the victim. Honestly, I wasn't loved as a child. I say that a lot,
You do.
but I wasn't loved as a child. Not me personally, but that's what I take um that type of behavior as being. It's a woe is me. Life is so hard for me. Life for me ain't been no crystal stairs. Baby, we are not Langston Hughes, mother of the song. The world didn't do it. And isn't that a song? This joy that I
The
have,
world,
the world didn't give it. Yeah,
world
yeah. You
take it away.
yeah. So you have to speak positivity over your life. You have to be the change that you want to see and be. Because sitting around here complaining, oh, I didn't get that job. Oh, I didn't get that promotion. Oh, I didn't make the money I thought I was going to make. Oh, this didn't work out for me. Okay. Well, maybe it's the reason why it didn't happen. Instead of looking at that being a negative thing, maybe it was a form of protection. But we don't want to think about that. Maybe, what you thought you needed or you wanted,
Mhm.
it wasn't meant for you, because there's something better on the other side waiting for you. And this would have blocked you from getting to the end goal. But
Mhm.
we don't want to talk about that, because, see, talking about that gets very deep. And we don't want to get deep. As someone tells me all the time, why you got to be deep first thing in the morning? Because I just woke up and there you go. I know you've been waiting to ask that question. And I have. And I'm going to ask it. Because, again, we have to start thinking and stop being a victim. And yes, it is who they are. I feel like it's comfort for them and other people as well who act like that, just to be in that victim mindset. And I'll give you an example. I was talking to your mother today. Yes, today she's your mother. Um, and she was talking about someone that we know very well.
Mhm.
And, I'm calling her and I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I don't know. I think they need to talk to a man. And I'm like, honey, what you got to talk to a man about?
Mhm.
Like, what seems to be the problem? What you got to talk to a man about? And she's like, so here's the situation. I said, okay, well, what's the situation? So this person, the last few weeks have been popping up prior to their shift starting. So let's just say they work third shift, and let's just say their shift doesn't start until 11 to relieve that person. Well, they're coming at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Okay. Why are you coming early? You know that you can't be on the property early. You know you can't start early because, again, your shift doesn't start until 11. Okay, that was one issue. Then when the person's there at work, they be calling this person. Can remember they work third shift. They're calling this person overnight, and I'm like, okay, well, is it emergency? Is it a crisis? Is somebody dead? Is somebody dying? Because, again, why is they calling you at 2, 3 in the morning? Well, they misplaced something or they have a question about something. Baby, if nobody is dying on that job, and even if they are, you need to be calling 911. Don't be calling me. Don't be calling me, waking me up my good sleep, going on about something that you can easily open your two beautiful eyes and look for it yourself. So my response still was, I'm still trying to determine what's the problem. Why do they feel like they need a man to figure out what it is that they're supposed to do? Well, I don't know if they feel like, they're being stalked or they're being harassed. I said, well, did they go to HR? Well, yeah, they went to HR. I said, okay, well, what did HR say? HR was like, oh, well, we understand what you're experiencing. Maybe we can move this person. I said,
Mhm.
okay, well, is it still happening? Yes. I said, did they go back to HR? Um, no, they ain't going back to HR yet. I said, okay, so I'm not understanding. You have addressed this person individually. on your own accord, letting them know, hey, XYZ, you're not supposed to be here. It's not your scheduled shift. Because I'm like, maybe I'm confused because I'm like, maybe, they elevator is still down there in that basement and somebody don't know how to press the up button so they can go upstairs to the
Next
next
level,
floor.
next level chef, huh?
Right, like I'm still confused. Help me understand what the problem is.
Calling
Um,
Gordon Ramsay. I'm
right,
sorry.
calling Gordon because I'm confused. Well, no, they went to HR and they saying that they can do this, they can do that. Okay, again,
Okay.
if you have taken this upon yourself to address these different incidents and they're still occurring, you have now gone to HR
Mhm.
and you brought it to their attention
Mhm.
and it's still occurring. What is having a conversation with a man going to do? Well, I mean, maybe they can give some insight. I said, honey, there's no insight to give. There is no man that they need to be talking to. The only man that they need to be talking to is the people in HR because they are the one and the man. Okay, so the only people that they need to be having conversations with is HR, and let them know, hey, knock knock, it's me again.
Mhm.
Just want to let you know that I've had conversations with such and such, as you already know, as I've already documented, and you should have documented as well. And they're still not wanting to follow the rules. So you did let me know that if it continued to happen, that you could possibly look at switching them to a different site. If that doesn't occur, no worries, because the next time that they pop up on the premises at their unscheduled time, I will be calling 911. My mom was like, "Oh, well, why are you going to call the police on? Now you instigating." Let me tell you something. This is what we're not going to be instigating on. If I have come to you and I've done the correct way of letting you know, hey, you understand the rules. You signed the contract. If
Yeah.
you don't understand how this goes, then you may want to talk to HR or whoever is in charge to help them to, help you understand where the disconnect is at. Because again, if you come on this property before it's your scheduled time, I will be calling 911 and they will be escorting you off this property. And I'll also make sure that you'll no longer be able to come on this property. Well, OnJerya, you can't do that. I said, Mama, why can't you do that? Well, because then who's going to be working third shift? I said, baby, stop worrying about who's going to be working third shift. You need to be focusing on once the popo get called. Uh, they're going to lose that contract because I'm pretty certain that the company, the employer that the contract, is subleased or however you want to phrase it through, is not going to appreciate having, police presence on their property because someone is being harassed and someone doesn't want to follow the rules. So again, as I stated to her, I said to me, that sounds like victim mentality because why is she calling you about something that she already know what to do? And then you talking about you need a man. Aren't you married? Why you didn't ask your husband? Oh, and Jerry, you know. Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, Andre, well, let me just kind of reset right here. Hi, Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us. There were some hearts as you were talking, Andrea. You're trying to bring this home, but there's so many things that I want to sort of say here.
Okay.
And the first thing is, I think big picture, I think the advice that you provided to your mama,
Oh, she
since
my
she's my
mama
mama,
now.
yeah, since she was my mama, to your mama. The advice that you provide to mama for this person, I think that was good advice because, I have a concern about the person showing up at night early for their shift. So there's a safety issue
Right.
there. Uh, then this person is calling this lady at home in the middle of the night or the middle of the morning, asking questions, which is inappropriate. Um, she's gone to HR. It doesn't seem like they can remedy this situation. So out of safety, I can see the person then calling the police if he shows up again because I'm
Right.
assuming he's been told not to do that. So, I have no problems with that, but I want to go back to your mama. Your mama said, uh, well, basically, why you gonna be saying the person's trespassing? And and but you made a statement, I think, about focusing on the wrong thing,
Right.
which is who's gonna be working third shift. If nobody gonna be working third shift, so nobody gonna be working second shift. Because
Or
if there's an issue here that isn't resolved, nobody gonna be working for whatever the reason may be. So you're looking at something that is to happen in the future when we need to take care of the present. And I think that's bigger than just this situation because my question is, why do we want to focus on things that are to come? I'm right with, I don't want to date this, but there is, there are movies that happen throughout the season, the year. And I think about, the one that happens during the holiday season where you got Christmas present, past, and future. So why is it that we're wanting to focus on the future when we've never dealt with the past? Because right now, this is past behavior that hasn't been resolved, and
right.
it's now settling in the present. So when I look at that from a global perspective, it impacts all of us. This just happens to be this person's situation. But why is it, do you believe, that people want to focus on stuff in the present? I mean, in the past. Well, I just can't even get it out. So all that's Freudian slip. I get. I mean, they want to focus on something, but my point is they're not focusing on what really needs to be focused on. So she want to focus on the future, which is that third shift. I want
Right.
to know what your thoughts are as far as why people don't want to focus on what they need to be focusing on, which is what's happening right now that needs to be reconciled so that you can have a future. Because if we go with the Scrooge and Dickens, he had to deal with what was going on right then.
Right.
Because without dealing with that, there was no future to come. And so my thing is, why is it that people want to put off, what is the phrase, put off tomorrow for what could be done today? Which means focus
Exactly.
on this issue right now. I mean, I don't get it. Why?
Honestly, I really don't know. Like, I don't know if it's a save a whole complex of let me just prepare for what is to come versus dealing with what I need to deal with now. I'm not really sure. I think it's almost like for every what they say, for every action there's a reaction or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's kind of like that mentality of like I need to kind of be mindful of what I do now because it could potentially impact the future. So therefore, I just kind of let it pass by. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way
Mm-hmm.
because for me, as the outsider looking in, I don't want to hear about it. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want to hear about it because that person calling you and worrying you, what are you gonna do? It doesn't impact you. It has no effect whatsoever what the consequences are because it's not you, as in her, living that experience, that situation. So again, I don't know if she feels like it's a way of keeping her like keeping her calm, keeping her what's the word I'm trying to say? Keeping her at ease to focus on what we can't do too much. Like, let's not rock the boat too bad. Because if you rock the boat, then these are going to be the consequences of rocking the boat. But the thing is, who can rock that boat?
Well, you almost had me. I'm interrupting. Some people say you just be over talking her. Judge Matthew don't over talk me. But I want to, because you're struggling there. So are you saying that having that your mama,
She,
your mama,
your mama.
your mama, that mama
Okay.
feels that by the person sharing this information with her and mama trying to advise her helps to keep her calm and
Yeah.
at ease because it is an unsettling situation. And that's the reason why something needs to be done about it. You understand? Because it's almost like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You know it's an unsettling situation, but you don't want to deal with it, which all situations can be unsettling. It's never
Absolutely.
a piece of cake. If it was a piece of cake, it wouldn't be called life. It's called life, not Candyland. It's that game. I got my Candyland game upstairs too. It's not Candyland. It's called life, and so it's like you recognize that it's serious, but you don't want to take the steps to resolve it, and it's like you're caught in between, and you're unsettled on this side and you're unsettled on this side. You're unsettled in the present and you're unsettled about the future. And to me, I get it. I don't know if that's what you were trying to say. I get it, but that's life. If
It
life
is.
was easy breezy, it wouldn't be called life. I think about Christianity or spirituality. I'm speaking for myself now. It is it is a challenge to do the right thing because sometimes I'm gonna quote you now. I don't want to do it,
Right.
but I'm gonna be more realistic. It's not that I don't want to do it. There's no. It's a no-win situation usually because whatever it is I do, I'm gonna have to deal with those consequences, the good and the bad. And if I don't do something, I'm still gonna have to deal with the consequences, good and bad. And so it's like, which way do you go? You know, but that's called living. We have free will and we
Right.
have to make choices about what we're going to do. And having someone calling her in the middle of the night is very, very unsettling. Um,
It
Having that
is, but
person
I'm
pop
also
up,
like, why are you answering the phone?
well,
I mean,
that's
I
true
don't
too.
know. You know,
Well,
like,
yeah.
so that's why I'm like, it's that to me, it's the victim mentality. Why are you answering the phone? Because again, if it's not a true emergency, please
Well,
don't call me.
well, also, given her job, if it is a true emergency, their protocol should be that they don't call her.
Right.
I mean, because if something's really happening, she's not the person to call. You need to be calling 911.
Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. To me, it's still the woe is me and oh, life is hard and I'm no, like you're making yourself be the victim when you don't have to. You
Well,
need
I
to
do have to
advocate for
be.
yourself.
No,
No,
no, I got to be the victim
no,
now.
you need to advocate for yourself and stop playing
No,
the
I'm gonna
victim
be the
role.
victim.
The
I
victim
got to be
role is
the victim.
not getting you anywhere, boo boo, except for on the phone talking to mama, and mama cannot help you, which is why she was asking me.
But
So
but
again,
it does get me there. It does get me something. It gets me that attention from that person. So my needs are being met because regardless, people want their needs met. And as I've always said, negative attention is better than no attention at all for most people. And that's okay if you're one of those people. But at some point you get a little tired of that because after the negative tension has subsided, how do you feel? If I'm not feeling good, then that was a waste of my time.
absolutely.
It's like eating something that you really didn't want, but you had to eat something. And then you've eaten it, it's like, well, I'm still hungry. It's not that you're hungry, but you still have a need for something that you didn't
True.
have because what you ate was not what you wanted to eat. So again, this idea of, as you say, victim, and I don't subscribe to victim mentality. I just don't. I was counseling in a session with someone last week, and the person came to a realization, and they were like, "Oh, they felt so bad about whatever was occurring." And like I told them, because they got a lot to do, I told them, we're gonna give you 1 hour. Give yourself an hour, because you don't have time to be stuck in, oh, I didn't realize, oh, I didn't, oh, you don't have time for that. You got a timeline that you got to meet. So again, I do, and as I said all the time, I do believe people should experience their emotions, but sometimes our emotions are so overwhelming when we start experiencing them, it's hard to pull ourselves out. So you have to learn how to permit yourself to experience your emotions in dosages, in small dosages, because sometimes we have so much that's happening that it's so overwhelming that we cannot experience everything at one time. But what I'm hearing, Angelia, is I'm hearing this theme.
Okay. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing advocating for yourself, because that's what you're saying this young lady should be doing as relates to the job.
Right.
Then, as relates to that first person in your trip, it seemed like that one was about boundaries, but it was still about advocating. Because again, when 90% of what you do, or 9 out of 10 things that happen in your life, they're not good, then you need to figure out what's going on. I
Right.
mean, because how can you not know that there's a problem? Because you're sharing it with somebody. So you know there's a problem. That's the reason you want to talk about it. But why is this happening? What's my role in it?
You know what I realize is that sometimes people, they don't want a solution.
Oh
They don't want an
no, no,
answer.
no, no,
They
no,
just
no, no.
they
I
just
don't
want
want
to
solution.
talk. They just want to talk and hear
Mm-hmm,
themselves talk,
mm-hmm.
and hear you say, "I understand." Oh, I
Well,
I
that is a solution.
empathize with what you're
That's a
going through.
solution.
Right, because again, it's
That's
like
all I want.
I need my ego stroke. But the thing is, whatever it is that you're dealing with, it's not going to change. It's like it's like getting in the car and saying, "All right, Autobot," like we on Transformers, Autobot, transform or whatever they say. Can you think of his name right now? Optimus Prime. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
if you need to go to the store, okay, in order for you to get to the store, you're gonna have to start the car up. You got to put the key in the ignition after you open the door and sit down and buckle in. You got to put the key in the ignition. Okay. And depending on, if you're backed in or however you park, you then put the car, the gear in either reverse or drive, depending on if you're backed in or pulled in, whatever. And then you go to the store. Because otherwise, getting in the car and being like, I need to go to the store and expecting the car to be like, your wishes might come in. Let me take you to the store. It's not, it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. Don't
Not
talk to me
yet.
about, not yet. I mean, they said we were going to be flying like the Jetsons in 2000, and I'm still waiting for that in 2024, even though we're going into 2025. Okay. So yeah, it may happen one day, but it's not today. So again, it goes back to, I just want to hear myself talk. I just want somebody to ooh and ah over me to make me feel good. But it goes back to, at the end of the day, you are the problem. If, and I hate to say it that way, but I really don't. You're the problem. You're the problem. Because if everything keeps going bad around you and you are the person that is the common
Denominator.
denominator,
Mm-hmm.
you're the problem. And now you need to do some deep soul searching to be like, well, what's going on with me? What am I not doing right? How am I not moving the way that I need to be moving? Why am I not in alignment so that this doesn't continue to happen to me? So it's like you're stuck in like this endless cycle of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. Because you don't want to deal with whatever it is. And it gets deeper, Now this is where again this person would say, why you got to get so deep? That means that
Early in the morning.
early in the morning. Why you got to get so deep
Because
early in
I'm
the morning?
a morning person.
I
You know,
am not a morning person, but
no, you're not, but I
I
am.
am not a morning person. But if you wake me up out my sleep and I start talking, then I come alive. But because I'm always thinking, I think that's the problem. People don't think enough. Like, whoo. But you have you have to determine what's the problem. And sometimes it's that trauma. It's healing that inner child. And with that particular person that I went on the trip with, I knew that's what it was. I knew exactly what their problem was, but I couldn't say anything because it wouldn't be received well from me, and it's okay. But then when they went and did some soul searching, and you know had a meet and greet with some people, and the outcome was that that's what they needed to do, was work on inner self. And then they told me, I was like, whew, I'm so glad they told you that, because I have been wanting to tell you that forever. But I can't say that because, again, it may not be received well. But that's really what it boils down to, is that sometimes your response is a trauma or you being triggered, and you don't realize you're being triggered, because that's something that you need to work on. So therefore, now I go into this victim mentality, because it's
Excuse me.
was it like a safety blanket, Linus with his blanket.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, no, Linus, we need to let the blankie over there. You a big boy now. You a big girl. You don't have to always carry your blanket, your binky, all of that with you. You don't have to carry it with you all the time, because you've done the work to work through whatever your traumas, whatever your triggers are, so that when you're confronted with different things, you're no longer going to respond in that manner. But again, that requires that W word, work, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
Well, OnJerya, you just done said so much again. Hang on, everybody. First of all, you have taken me from make me feel good to
Yes,
you get a
honey.
car,
That's
you
what
get a
Halle
car.
said.
That's what Hallie
Halle
said.
Berry said, "Make me feel good in Monster Ball. Can
Yeah.
you make me feel good?"
You've taken me from make me feel good to you get a car, you get a car, you get a car to,
Yes.
now I got to deal with this inner child, this inner person, and the trauma, and the fact that, and the thing that I like about life and people
Yeah.
is that I can paint it, you know, I can paint it, the situation so well. I can tell it so well. But they said that you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Because
Absolutely.
as you were talking, I was thinking about different people, and you know, I believe that each of us has a destiny,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that we will arrive at our destiny based upon how we deal with the ups and downs of life, the roller coaster, the twists and the turns. The more we avoid dealing with them intellectually, and I'm not saying you
Yeah.
got to be a brilliant person, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying intellectually, dealing with them from the heart, dealing with them socially, because whatever it is, it's going to impact all aspects of your life.
Sure.
And the longer it takes us to deal with this trauma and how you then interface with the fabric of your life, the longer it will take you to get to your destiny, the purpose that you were born into. And it may appear that
Yeah.
I'm making progress towards my destiny, but I'm really not.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look back 5 years and you're no further along than you
Mm-hmm.
were 5 years ago, if you look back 10 years, and you may have had some successes, but you're still at the same place. If you look back 20 years, and it's the same thing, and you look at the pattern, as you said, for this person, someone told her, and it's like, oh, okay. And you see your pattern, then my question is, what's the problem? Because if you say that you want this or that, or you know that you have, because everybody has a purpose. You're working towards that purpose, but you're no closer to it. Then, as you would say, the common denominator is you and
You.
how you are choosing to interface with this thing called life. Because, as you said so eloquently, You're just so eloquent. You know, Linus, you're gonna have to let that blanket go.
Yes.
You're gonna have to let your blinky go. You know, and immediately I thought about self-medicating
Yeah.
because we self-medicate with so many things, not just drugs, legal drugs or illegal drugs. We self-medicate with people. We self-medicate with different relationships, different
Yeah.
organizations, the types of work that we have to do, the way we act on our jobs. Sometimes that's our self-medicating, the way we dress, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything could be about self-medicating, how we tell the story,
Right.
how we tell a story. Because if you tell a story, if you're a person who always tells a story a certain way, and I mean
Mm-hmm.
any story, no specific story, but it's always with you as the hero. There's a problem because
Right.
I'm never always the hero.
Yeah.
I'm not. I think about Jesus walking through the church or the whatever they would have probably called synagogue, and he was turning over the tables because they were taking up money. I think it was tax money in the house of the Lord. Now I don't think they thought he was a hero then. Think about it.
Yeah.
He wasn't a hero then. Now when he fed the 5,000, I think it was, he was hero. No one is the hero all the time. So what are you saying, Taz? If you got to always paint yourself as the person that knows it all, or you are the savior, things are happening to you. And I
Right.
could go on and on and on. There is something that you need to still resolve. There's something because that no one is that all the time because Christ
Yeah.
wasn't. You know, I love about him when he's in the Garden of Gethsemane. He says, "My Lord, he don't say it like that, but I'm gonna say it like that. My God, please, can this cup pass over me?" And I love to tell it, God, please help me, somebody. Well, baby, I sent you down through all of those generations for this
Right.
time, for this time. And understand when he sent him down, he sent himself down as the son. So I sent you down for this time. And now you're going to pray to me as the father and say, can you get me out of this? No. But that is what humanity is all about. That the contradictions, because he knew that he came here to die for our sins. But at that time, he was feeling a little weak. He just went up for it. He had to put up with our mess, to see how we are. Do I really have to die for these people? Yes, sir. You're going to have to die for them. You're going to have to die for them. That's your
I
purpose.
want
I know
to.
I don't want to, but that's your purpose.
Absolutely.
Is to come here and die so that we can have life, the opportunity to have life, real life, and have it abundantly. So it's like, again, you see the contradictions even with Christ.
Right.
You understand? But when you got these people, it's never them. It's always someone else. And this is in every aspect of their life. And it may be to different degrees. They're medicating. And their
Yeah.
medication could be how they tell stories. But we just don't even we don't pick that up. I know he's good because he dropped that on me when you were talking. How they tell the stories. Because so as a man thinketh in his mind, and I'm probably butchering this, but Dennis is still there. So as a man thinketh in his mind, that is who he is in his heart, or vice versa. But it doesn't matter if it's vice versa or not, because mind and heart. So it's all connected. So if I tell the stories a certain way, because I like to also talk about that brainwashing that we do.
Yes.
If I'm telling the story a certain way all the time, I'm always a certain slant to anything that I tell, regardless of how good or bad it was. That's my way of self-medicating because I'm never dealing with what's really happening. Because if I dealt with what was really happening, that means I have to take some responsibility. I have to be accountable because I play a role in everything that happens in my life. That's just the reality. We play a role in it, whether I sit back and do nothing or I'm advocating, as you were talking about earlier, I'm still playing a role. And I have to honor that role. And I have to try to play the best role in what I'm doing. So again, like I said, you were just talking, and I just thought, okay, we self-medicate in so many ways, and
Absolutely.
we gaslight ourselves, we brainwash ourselves, and we try
Mhm.
to gaslight and brainwash other people based upon how we interface with them. And I think that that is, it can be a bunch of crock sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, because at some point people get tired of that. But the question is, am I ever going to get tired of it?
No, because that means you have to own your stuff.
I, I don't want to.
But you gonna have to one day, honey. You don't
No,
you may not
I
want to, but it's gonna
don't
come
want
a
to.
time where you really gonna have to. And that's the thing that I think people tend to forget. Um it's gonna come a day where you're gonna have to humble yourself and really be held accountable for the role that you played in anything that you done in your woe is me story. Because I agree, no, you can't be the hero all the time.
All the time.
Like, you have to be the villain every now and then. Can't be the
Exactly.
hero. You can't save a hoe all the time. Cause if you to save a hoe, then who's saving you? That means you out here with your cape on fire saving everybody else, but who's running behind you saving you? Nobody. And we know that's not realistic because, again, when you're pouring into somebody else's cup, you have to, in order to recharge, regroup, reset, however you want to phrase it, somebody has to then pour into you, just like a therapist. A therapist has a therapist that
Yes.
has a therapist. Okay, like everybody has somebody that holds them accountable, that they interact with, and you may just not be that person. And for me, I may just not be that person because I pick and choose my battles. Um, or as my sister would say, you don't want to be that psychiatrist. You don't want to be a therapist because you don't care about people and what they got to say about their emotions and feelings. And it was no lie detected. But I do the best that I can to help those who want to listen.
Mhm.
Um, and if you're one of those that don't want to listen, I will have no problem putting you on speaker while you talk through your woe is me moment, and I'm over here doing something else. So again, accountability is very important. We all have to be accountable. That's something that you will not be able to get past because you're accountable with your job, you're accountable with your family, anything that you're involved with, bills, life, you got to be accountable. So, my thing would be is it's okay to be the victim, but nobody wants to hear your victim story all the time. Okay?
Well, OnJerya, before I lose it, because I'll lose it. We like this offline. I was listening to you and I was thinking because you brought up the villain. I think you brought the villain. Who knows? Who cares who brought the villain up? But I was just thinking, and there's probably another side to us,
Yeah,
but we're all the hero and
absolutely.
we're all the villain, and then we're all the victim, and then there's probably that other one, probably a victor. Victor. Let's just
Victor.
victor. Because, and of course, me, I automatically go to Christ because I can see it in the stages or in different stories from the Bible. I can see that. And so I guess what I want to say is you cannot get, now this is me saying this, hi, be pulling for it. Thank you for joining us. And I'm thinking this out as I'm saying it. And I said, please don't condemn me with this. But you can't get to the to your finish line without experiencing all four because they're all
Right.
parts of personality. It is our job to be able to temper them so that the villain doesn't overshadow the hero, the
True.
victor, so that my being a victim doesn't overshadow the other aspects of who I am as a person. Because when it does, I get stuck there. So I guess what I'm trying to say with that is there's a lot of soul searching that still has to be done. And there is a lot of work. And that's what life is about. And regardless of whether you're a spiritual person, religious person, or whatever you look at life as, you have to do the work. You can't escape it. Because, I mean, and it's something that you have to consciously do every day,
Yep.
all day long. Because
All
if
day.
you think about the emotions that come up within us, I'm upset. I'm working my job. I'm upset. Or maybe it's not, I'm working my job. It's, I'm not doing anything. It's a day off. I get upset about something. Then I feel down. Then I feel good again. So I'm the victor. Then I went to the grocery store and I helped this person do something. So now I'm the
Right.
hero. You know, it's like it's on and on and on. It is happening like this. And if you're not able to self-regulate, if I was thinking about it from a different perspective, when you're not able to self-regulate, ooh, you know my, the little phrase from General Hospital from years ago, not now, Bobby, not now, not now. That's what Tiffany said to Jacqueline Zimmerman, who passed, I think it was this year that we lost her, who played Bobby Spencer, Luke Spencer's sister. And so Tiffany Hill has said, not now, Bobby, not now. Because sometimes it's a not now moment.
Right.
Because that was not a good time. And Tiffany was not able to self regulate. So again, I think that, whether we're talking about the person and their job, we're talking about the person that you traveled with, we're talking about boundaries, we're talking about learning to advocate for ourselves, but also we're really talking about getting to know you.
Right.
Honestly, being in a relationship with yourself. And I think, and don't get me, OnJerya.
It's hard.
It is hard, and I'd rather be in a relationship with you than to be in a relationship with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that I rather look outward and be
Right.
in relationships with people versus dealing with who I am and being in a good relationship with myself, so that when I am in a relationship with someone else, on a job, in an organization, in a church, whatever, relationship with my family, those are good, solid relationships because I'm good. But how can those be good when I'm not good? Because I'm gonna tell you what's that phrase? If mama's happy, everybody happy. Well, when
Yep.
I'm good, everybody gonna be good. But see, when I'm not good, nobody good. I'm not good on my job. I get the
Mm-hmm.
work done, but I'm not as effective as I could be. And maybe I'm the only person that knows it, but I know how I work. I know what it is for me to be effective. So I'm going to know that. I'm not going to be good with my girlfriends. Our relationship, it's going to be good, but it could be better. Um, I won't be as patient when it comes to siblings. I'm not going to be as open. I'm going to
Right.
cut that off real quick, and so on and so on and so on. And it has nothing to do with those individuals. It has nothing to do with the job or whatever. It's about me because I'm
Right.
out of balance. I don't want to deal with my stuff. So again, that stuff, that luggage that we dragging with us.
Ooh.
You might want to get 2 or 3 carts and put all that luggage on and push it, because I'm telling you, well, yeah, you can't drag it. You're going to have to push
Yeah,
it
you gotta push
because it's
it.
a lot. Um, but I can see how it's necessary. And even though, we chat and we joke and this and that, it's tough. It's tough. And I'm so glad that you were able to give mama some advice, because she's my mom. She's not your mama. She's my mama. Give mama some advice, and I know she'll pass it on to that person. And then I'm so grateful that the person that you traveled with was able to get to the correct person that could help them to understand that it's about that person on the inside
But it
that's
still
still
didn't
acting
help though.
like I said. I just can't with OnJerya. I just
It
prayed with
still,
her.
it
I just
didn't, I mean, it was, I feel like it was more confirmation for me than it was for her, honestly.
understand.
Um,
It's not easy, OnJerya. It's up
okay.
and down, round the road, and twists and turns. I'm up today, I'm down tomorrow, but I'm still working towards it, though.
But the thing is, though, you have to put some action behind it. And if you're not willing to put action behind it, then please hush, because we don't want to hear it. And that's
Mm, mm,
my takeaway on it. Because again, the same woe is me story, it's getting ready to be 2025. I'm being for real now. Like, we only have a few more days left in December. 2024 has flown by. And one thing I would say is a lot of us have spent this year existing and not living. And it is time to start living and stop existing. So if you're one of those people that's in that woe is me, I'm the victim, okay. Don't be surprised when people start pulling away from you because they're tired of hearing it's just another sad love song. That's what Tony said. It's another sad love song.
That's what she said.
So it's like, I'm tired of hearing it and I don't want to hear it. And I'm not going to hear it because I'm not even going to put you on speaker to let you just talk. I'm just not even going to answer the phone because I don't want your negative energy to then jump on to me because now you're becoming an energy vampire and nobody wants that. So let's sit with self. There's nothing wrong with sitting with self. Sometimes I have to sit with self throughout the day and have these little pep talks with myself and be like, come on, self, we got to get it together today. We gonna be good. We're going to be good because today is a good day. And just do the work because you will be very surprised the progress that is made when things start happening for you because you have been blocking your blessings because you didn't want to do the work. So let's start doing the work so that those blessings are no longer being blocked and you can walk into your purpose and what you're destined to do.
Yeah. I guess the church can say amen.
Amen.
Andre Crouch, let the church say amen. I
Ooh,
love that
doors of the church
song.
are not open.
Yeah, yeah. Doors of church are not open. I think that there's nothing. There's nothing to come back with that. I wholeheartedly agree. And as we move into another year, we should move into it with anticipation.
Yeah.
And we have to protect ourselves, take care of you. Because as you stated, people want to move differently. People want to be happy. They want to be enjoying life because life is so short. And they have to be very cognizant of who they allow in their space. And so um, you want your friends, you want your families to be interacting with you. So if you need to work on some things, that's no shame in that. Work on them. There are things that I'm working on, and it's a struggle. But I got it yesterday. I got it yesterday. I may not have it tomorrow, but I got it yesterday. But it's about me changing my mindset. You
Right.
know, and even today when I was doing it, I had to remind myself, you trying to be I had this thing about perfect, but it's a trauma response because I was sexually abused, and so it's a control thing. But it doesn't seem like it's a control thing, but it's a control thing. Everything can't be perfect, and that
Right.
means it can't be perfect for me. It means when I'm evaluating stuff, it can't be perfect. You have to let it go. And I realized that's the mentality that I'm interfacing with this product from my response. And because I just get so upset. But that's just my problem. It's my problem. It's my problem. And I mean, I really get upset. I get really, really upset. I just be outdone. I even had to call daddy yesterday. I was just outdone. I just help me, somebody help me. I'm just searching for help. And this is true. This
Ooh,
is a true story. I'm searching for help, but I already know what needs to be done.
yeah,
I need to deal with that issue because for some reason it's out of control as it relates to this. I just can't get my mind to understand. It ain't gonna be perfect. I was saying that today. It ain't gonna be perfect. You know, when I was gonna go back and do it. Why you let it go?
let it
Let
go.
it go. Frozen, let it go.
Yeah, let it
Mm,
go.
let it go. So I don't know if that can help somebody, but let it go
Yeah,
because it's not going to be perfect. Because if you're waiting for perfect, you're not going to get anywhere, and we don't have time for that. As I bring us to a close, you know, I've told you this before. One of my former bosses said when I was at State Department, she said, "Teresa, you can't pray over it," and I've never forgotten it because she right. I guess I wouldn't let it go. Teresa, you can't pray
you
over it.
can.
So, you know, I have to remind myself, honey, you can't pray over it. Let it go.
Just let it go.
Because if not, I'm acting out of my trauma response, which means what you just said. People are not going to want to be around me.
No,
They're not going to think I'm effective. And I'm not being effective because I'm trying to be over effective.
right.
So that's a problem. You see, but that's a what? Who kind of problem is that,
That's
Anjay?
your problem.
Yeah, that's my problem. That's that me problem. It ain't
Yeah,
them. It ain't them.
no, that's you.
That's me. I like you said so adamant. Yeah, that's you. Okay. All
That's
right.
you. I mean, because it does become a you problem. Because again, you're at some point you have to set those boundaries, and I know it's hard to do, but it's
Yeah.
okay. You can do them. I mean, and people not gonna like it, but who cares? It's not about them. It's about you, and it's about your peace and your mental health. And as we know that we're in the holiday season, and of course this is the season of depression, you got to be focused on you. You can't be focused on nobody else. And again, if you want to be a support to someone, if you not 100 and you not taking care of you, how can you show up for somebody else? You can't. You
Cannot.
can't. So therefore, you have to take care of you and focus on you. Yes, they're going to feel some kind of way. It's okay. They'll deal with it. Because at the end of the day, you have to show up for you in all aspects of your life. Trust and believe that. Because if you don't take care of you, nobody else is going to take care of you. And you find out real quick when something happens who really shows up for you. And you never want to put yourself in that situation to find that out. Because when you find that out, the people that you think would have showed up or thought would have showed up for you, they're going to be nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. So at the end of the day, just take care of you,
Mhm.
focus on you, pour into them just a little bit, but pour into self more. That's it.
Well, thank you, Angelia. So good to be back with you here on Talks
I was
Tuesdays.
so deep, girl, on this good old evening.
But you know, you always deep. All right, why you got to be so deep all the time?
I know, right?
Yeah. Why you got to be so deep all the time? Ugh. But you know, life is deep though,
It is.
and I've enjoyed our conversation tonight. And you know, of course, I'm looking forward to the next one. And thank you guys for joining us. And you were doing my sign off, but you know, I'm going to do it anyway because yeah, I have to do it because it's always just that positive self talk for me. You understand? But thank you so much for joining Angelia and I with Real Talk with Taz and Angelia. We look forward to chatting with you again. And before you take care of anyone else, before you take care of anyone else, make sure you take care of yourself first. Bye now.
Bye.